What's going on, everyone? Welcome back. Today, I'm going to showcase a Pokemon I have never used in my life. In fact, I just barely built this Pokemon today, but I think it's a pick here in Retro Cup that makes just so much sense. In a meta where Darks and Steel types are banned, Lunatone might actually be pretty good. So what makes this Pokemon good is not only are those Pokemon banned, but with Dragon types everywhere, having access to a very spammy Ice-type Weather Ball, as well as having access to Psywave and Rock Slide. Basically, this Pokemon is very flexible, very spammy. It's not super squishy either, so a lot of things about this Pokemon do add up to a very good pick in the meta, and I'm excited to see what it can do. But real quick, before we get into the battles, I want to ask if you're not subscribed to the channel, please consider doing so. Helps out quite a bit, and I'd really appreciate it. But yeah, let's get into the battles and see what Lunatone can do. Alright, Lunatone. I've been seeing a lot of people try this Pokemon out. Haven't given it a go yet myself, so I'm kind of excited to see what it can do here. See a Shadow Gyarados on the lead, and this is kind of odd, because they can win CMP against us, and Aquatail would one-shot us, I believe. But I have Stab Psywaves, they have non-stab Dragon Breaths, which means I do more fast move pressure to them than I take, so we should be in a pretty playable spot here. With that said, I don't know if a Weather Ball Ice is going to get a knockout or not before they're able to get their next move off, but like at some point I could catch a move 2 on my Kingdra, which might be an interesting play, because while I am weak to the Dragon Breath damage, I'm also like, I resist water, so, I mean, it might be a risky play to do that, though. Maybe I shouldn't do that, because if they overfarm and they go for a Twister instead, that could be pretty bad. I guess I could catch on my Jumpluff instead, and that could be a good idea, too, because then I'm not risking a one-shot, potentially. We'll see, though. They do double shield, alright. Should I go for the catch? Should I not go for the catch? These are the questions. I'm going for the catch. They don't fall for it. So now there is a lot of energy left over in the backline on that thing. We bait out a Clodsire here, which is not the best Pokemon for a Jumpluff to see, but I think Jumpluff is bulky enough that I should at least survive one attack from them. Man, I should have just gone straight for the Weather Ball. That would have been huge. I could have knocked out the Gyarados. They're at 7, so they have a Stone Edge. 8, 9, 10, 11. They're at 100 energy right now, so we'll see what they have. Sludge Bomb or Stone Edge, either way, it is super effective, but I think Jumpluff is bulky enough to survive. Okay, they actually have Sludge Bomb, so a little bit better pacing on their part, but also a little bit worse damage output. They're at 13, which, as we all know, 13 means that they are at 7 now, so they definitely have the move. Yeah, I'm just going to go and snipe them down. I can save a lot of my Jumpluff, and we can still force them to go for an Aquatail into my Lunatone if they want to knock us out. And I think I'm just 8 Sidewaves away from another Weather Ball, so I should be able to get there if they come in with something that doesn't just farm us down immediately. Okay. I am actually happy to just force this back out. We do still have our Jumpluff. We also still have a Kingdra that hasn't seen the battle just yet. I wonder which Pokemon is better to bring in here. I think bringing in Jumpluff could guarantee that I at least reach a move with it, but giving an energy lead over to a Pokemon against our Kingdra in the backline could also be bad. But I think I'm going to bring in Jumpluff, because I likely get to an Acrobatics, or at the very least an Energy Ball into something, and looks like that is a good idea, because we see on a Rockwind in the backline who very much does not want to take an Acrobatics. With that said, if they're on Bug Buzz, Kingdra would take a lot of damage here, so I hope that an Acrobatics plus a Swift knocks them out before they get there. I think it's 20 Bug Bites, right? So it does take quite some time to reach, but if they can get that move, Kingdra would not like it. We're at the Swift. I'm not sure if this knocks out. Honestly, I don't even know if you run Bug Buzz in this meta. It might still just be Water Pulse and Bubble Beam, Bug Bite, Bubble Beam, Bug Buzz. Yeah, whatever. We win. Good stuff. All right, Lunatone into Jellicent. Ooh, okay. That is a very awkward lead matchup here. Although maybe it's not as bad as one might expect, just because Psywave does hurt quite a bit here. And if I can ever, like, catch a move, that wouldn't be bad either. But they can go straight Surf here and outpace us if they end up shielding my Rock Slides. So I guess we'll see what happens. They do let that go. That's a lot of good damage. 6. And we get a catch. I hope this is a Surf. That would be a lot of inefficient energy usage if it is. But they might Shadow Ball, and that would still do a lot of damage to us. Okay, they're at 2. 1 away from the next Surf here. 2 away from a Shadow Ball. Okay, and that's actually really good. We bait out a Jumpluff. And the reason I like this so much is, first of all, I'm up energy against this, and also my Kingdra can avoid this, so I can trip him down quite a bit with Acrobatics. And I'm not sure, am I even in range where an Acrobatics one-shots us? I don't think so. I think I might get to a second one here. Which means either I force him to throw a second move, or shield, or something. Although it's not like I necessarily need Switch against Jelly. I'm kind of weak to Jelly in the first place, so no matter what happens here, it's just good that I caught that move earlier. They could CMP an Energy Ball, and I think they did actually attempt to. So if they do end up shielding this, that's probably the best case scenario. A no shield here is still very fine. I think if they bring back in Jelly, I'm just going to switch out, probably into my Lunatone, just to not reveal my final Pokemon, because they're going to be in range where I think Cybase plus a Weather Ball could just knock him out. And Hex, while super effective, is not a very strong, at least damaging fast move, so we're not taking too much chip damage here. Okay, that's pretty good to see. They're at 11 right now, so they're 1 away from a Surf. If they ever let a Weather Ball through, they're going to be in farm down range. And if they ever shield a Weather Ball, then maybe I can get a Swift later. Yeah, they're at 12, so they have the Surf ready to go. I think the play is probably always just to sacrifice my Lunatone here, then. They do let that go. Yeah, I think I just go all in on my own Kingdra. Because they might not even go for a Surf. They might get greedy and go for a Swift. And if they do that, I think I survive and just get another move after the fact anyway. Let's see what they do, though. They do Surf. Okay. You know, that's fair. They guarantee the knockout. But I think what that also does is it guarantees that my Kingdra here is pretty safe in this matchup. Like, Swift, for example, doesn't do all that much damage to us. I think no-shielding this might actually be the play, just because then I guarantee they can't Shadow Ball us later on. Yeah, they come back in Jelly. Like, this thing is so low at this point that even a Swift here might just get a knockout after a few more Dragon Breaths. So they have to shield this up, and if they do, then I just shield, farm down, and Swift their Kingdra. They do shield, and yeah, they'll get one move off if they want to throw it, but they, I think, realize at this point, not much they can really do. We get the Swift through, and, you know, despite a pretty bad lead here, Lunatone putting in a lot of neutral play, and Kingdra closing out the endgame. Love to see that. GG's. Lunatone into Shadow Kingdra. Okay, very interesting Pokemon to see here on the lead. I know that they can pace evenly here to Rock Slide and Surf, and also to Swift and Weather Ball. But I also know that if they don't land a Surf, I don't take too much damage. But I know they're going to bait us. Anyway, I'm shielding. They don't bait. Wow, okay, well, I know nothing. Never mind. Alright, they come in a Rangaroo here, and honestly, I'm going to just bank up energy and come in Jumpluff, because Jumpluff can make this matchup very miserable for them. The main reason being they can't go for Trailblaze, or if they do, they waste a lot of energy just to boost their attack stat, and saving the energy that I have in the backline on my Lunatone is going to mean that probably something in the backline is going to take a lot of damage. They're at their second Brutal Swing, but they're already dry on energy, that is. So Jumpluff has done a very good job of just absorbing damage, and we'll see what's in the backline here this game. I'm going to go for the Acrobatics here just because, even though I know I need 2 Charge Attacks to knock out, I feel like they will let this one go. And if they want to shield the second move, then at the very least I can go and get a lot of damage initially in this matchup. They're at their next move now, and they do end up throwing it. Smart play. I wouldn't be surprised if they just kind of sacrifice the Oranguru at this point, but if they ever do let it go, and they come back in with the Kingdra, I'll just swap back into my Lunatone. Let's throw 1 and the Energy Ball just to not take that confusion damage. We still have a decent amount of HP here on Jumpluff, so honestly, there is a chance we could reach another move in the backline. See what comes in here. Okay, yeah. Let's just switch out. Go for the Weather Ball. Honestly, probably should go for the Rock Slide to guarantee a shield or a knockout, but either way, this is not going to be super great for the Kingdra. They do shield that. Let's go for the Rock Slide now. Oh, probably a good thing I did that too, because a Furret comes in, and this is going to do a very substantial amount of damage, despite the fact that, you know, I wouldn't want to be in this matchup normally. Yeah, that basically 2 shots. And I think I get the CMP here, or they just overfarm, which is also fine. Because if I go for a Rock Slide, they might not even expect that this is a big move. They might let it go. They do shield, okay. 7, 8. Alright, the play here is come in Kingdra and just get to 2 Swifts. 9. Alright, so this is going to be probably a Swift, but they could go for a Brick Break or a Trailblaze here if they want to try to ramp up their damage a little bit. Alright, just a Swift. And so they're at 5. They're completely energy dry now. So if they ever bring back in that Kingdra, I should be able to just instantly go for a Swift against them and still outpace this for it to a move. Big Swift. There's the Kingdra. And as long as they don't survive long enough here to get to another attack, I should be good. It's Shadow into Shadows, so honestly, I don't expect them to survive super long here. Yeah, that's a lot of damage. Nice. And we do barely get this move off. Honestly, that was closer than I thought it would be. Sucker Punch is a pretty strong damaging attack. Honestly, their whole team had a lot of fast and pressure against us, so a little bit closer than it had to be here in the end game. But still, Kingdra's too good. It just closes it out. We'll take it. Medicham, my friend. Okay, this is actually going to be an interesting matchup because, I mean, sure, I do resist Psycho Cut here, but it's not like I'm doing super effective damage to them, and Dynamic Punch is a pretty good move, so this is going to hurt quite a bit. I think I'll shield the first attack just to guarantee that I'm not shielding Ice Punches later on. And, like, it's not like I'm going to get one-shot here by a move, but the longer this goes on, the longer I can... Whoa. I was going to say, like, I can put them into range where I can knock them out with a couple Weather Ball Ices, but they actually try to catch a Weather Ball on Charjabug. They're like, wait, I didn't get the catch. I got his shield. All right. Fair enough. I guess I'll go for a second Rock Slide. They probably do no-shield this one. I'm really surprised they have made this play so far, but we'll see what happens. Yeah, they do let this one go. I'll bring in my Kingdra here, just because Kingdra is Kingdra. I don't know, I think we have to bring this in just because Jumpluff is better into Medicham. Although, honestly, is Jumpluff even that good into Medicham? Oh, they discharge? That's crazy. That just does less damage against my whole team, so I'm happy about that. Yeah, Medi does come back in here. And, honestly, I'm going to shield this up. I want to get a Surf into them. And getting shields down is always good, potentially, for Jumpluff. Not the best timing by me. But really, I just want to get this Surf off. I don't want any shenanigans. If I can land this move, they're going to be pretty low on HP into farm down range. Or, wait, that just knocks out. I honestly did not expect that for some reason. Ampharos in the backline, that's a cool pick. I think we're in a really good spot, though. Because the way that I see it, we have a Jumpluff. And the most common moveset on Ampharos is going to be Brutal Swing plus Trailblaze. So just like a Rangaroom, we have a really good neutral game into that with Jumpluff. We'll bring it in now. If we get, like, Zap Cannon or something here, that could be scary, but yeah, it looks like they don't have it. Let's go. Lunatone into Charjabug, this time in the lead matchup here. All right. I mean, this is a good matchup for us, but they do have X-Scissor, right? Which is super effective into us, which obviously would hurt quite a bit if they end up landing it. But Psywave is kind of shredding their HP right now. And I have access to bait moves, namely Weather Ball Ice, that I could throw to be able to outpace them if I wanted to. Okay, Furret comes in, and I'm going to take a bit of Sucker Punch damage in the process, but I wanted to bank up energy, because Jumpluff, again, just kind of like how that Oranguru matchup is so good for us, it's the same here against Jumpluff into Furret, where we have a lot of neutral play, we can just wall off the damage, and we can save a lot of energy in the backline. 5. Okay, they're dry now. What I think I want to do is... Do I go Acrobatics here? I think I go Acrobatics and try to farm down. I should survive the Sucker Punches plus another Swift. And even if I don't quite knock him out here with this Acrobatics, I could honestly just swap out at some point too. I'm not that scared of Charjabug at this range. Oh, they shield that. Was not expecting that at all. So they might switch out here at some point then. But getting a shield down there is huge, because I still survive this move. I should get another Acrobatics off as long as they don't catch. And even if they do catch, I get an Acrobatics into the back line. That's not bad at all. Let's see what they want to do here. Do they want to shield the Furret at this point? Or do they just sacrifice it and take all this damage? They do let that go. I'm going to bring in Lunatone and just Psywave down. Nice, that is a lot of energy on my Lunatone now. Not a lot of Pokemon in the game want to take this damage. Although, unfortunately for me, that is something that can, like, kind of survive what I'm going to throw against them here. With that said, I'm still at 100 energy, right? So I can probably get to 3 attacks before they can do all that much. Boom. Alright. They're one confusion away from their next attack here. And Psywaves are doing nothing, so I will be forced to throw energy to knock them out. Oh. Wasn't really expecting them to bring in the Charjabug here. But that's fine. I mean, I have a lot of energy left over on my Lunatone here. If I can switch out, I can do 3 Psywaves and transfer the damage over to Kingdra, so I can get to another Weather Ball later on this game. They do have a lot of energy here on the Charjabug. Keep that in mind, that is a little bit scary. I'm going to shield the first one. It's going to do more damage than what a Rangaru can throw into me. But as long as I reach a single Swift here, which it looks like they're going to let me do, actually, on CMP, then I should be fine. Even if they did land the move, though, I think they would have still needed an attack against me with their Rangaru to knock out Kingdra. And then I would reach a Weather Ball Ice with Lunatone. That's why I transferred the Fast Move Pressure earlier. But, yeah, there's just too much for one monkey to do. It's not going to be able to win it. GG's. Oh, my goodness, a 5-0 set to start? That doesn't normally happen. I guess Lunatone might be kind of sick. I've never seen Lunatone be meta. But this, I guess, is just the format where it pops off. All right, let's keep it going. It's a Titan lead. All right, I mean, I resist a lot of their... Well, I don't resist anything, but I'm neutral to everything they throw against us here, which is good, but I don't have, like, an easy way of knocking this thing out. Icicle Spear will hurt, but I should survive it at least well enough that I can get to another move pretty easily. But the 2-shield matchup, they might be able to farm us all the way down. 5. I'm going for a risky bait. Sometimes you gotta go for risky baits in the Go Battle League. Do they want to get one shot here? That's the big question. The answer is no. Good. I'm going to now go for a CMP play, just in case I did end up wanting to throw instantly. But they don't. They actually overfarm a little bit. So now I get the Rock Slide off, so I get both shields from them. They actually know their counts pretty well. I'm going to just bring in my Kingdra now, because I think Kingdra here should be able to Dragon Breath them into Swift range. And if you see a Titan in the lead, I'm hoping that's going to be their best answer here to a Kingdra. But I guess we'll find out shortly now, won't we? And they're going to be in Energy Ball range if they do end up switching out. I could have thrown my Swift there, but I don't know if it would have been quite enough to KO. And I know that my Jumpluff should be able to Energy Ball this if I have to later on. Okay. Mantine comes in. Don't love that necessarily, but I think my Switch Clock is decent just enough that I can throw 2 Swifts and get out. And then I can bring in my Jumpluff here and hopefully build up enough energy to outpace that Titan, as we were saying. They're at 5, so they have a Twister ready to go. Are they going to go for the move instantly? I don't know. Either way, I'm going to try to just switch out and get out of there. I can survive Twisters any day of the week, and we saved a lot of HP on our Kingdra. They're at 10, so they're at 5 after this first move. Imagine they're on Ice Beam, actually. Ice Beam is technically an option. No, okay, so they're at 5, 6, 7, 8. 8. Okay, so they're at 3 right now, 2 away from the next Twister, and I have just about 100 energy here on Jumpluff. And I still do have my Kingdra in the back line. Alright, let's just knock this out. I don't want to deal with it any longer. It's been on my screen too long. So Titan's likely going to come back in here. But honestly, I might overfarm just a little bit against it if they do. Just because I want to have some extra energy. Oh. 2. Interesting. They bring in a Rangaroo here, which I don't think is terrible for us, but it's going to be a little bit awkward, depending on what happens. That was a good play. Very good play by them. I don't know if I can win this one now. This is going to be so uncomfortable. That switch out is very smart. I should have swapped instantly expecting that play. But we'll see what we can do. Because I do still have maybe a chance here. Lunatone has to Psywave this into Fairy Wind downrange. And then I have to get another move off into a Rangaroo. Okay, I think that's 1 Fairy Wind. But I think the Rangaroo also is just like 1 away from a move, right? Yeah. Oh, that's so close, actually. But that was a nice play by them. Going for that swap out into Titan after I was dry. Very smart play. GG's. Lunatone into Regidrago. I do like this lead quite a bit. And they switch out instantly here into a Crustle, which I don't like as much. But I'm really good when it comes to taking down Regidrago with my team, so I am fine with this. They're going to go for the X-Scissor here. Fair enough. I'd go for X-Scissor 2 into a Psychic type. I'm just going to go, though, for a classic Weather Ball Ice. They probably have to shield this. They do. Okay. And now it might be a little bit odd, but I'm going to bring in Kingdra, because I don't necessarily need switch advantage against Regidrago. I wouldn't mind it, but I don't need it as much as they do. So I'm just going to go for this move just to try to chip them down into farm down range. Did you let it go? I'm honestly still considering shielding, though. Because if I shield this up and I farm down, then Regidrago is going to take a lot of damage still from my Kingdra. Yeah, we get the full farm down here. I don't think they can Dragon Breath this down. Oh. Rockwanid. That does complicate things a little bit, actually. How do I want to play this? Do I just sacrifice Kingdra? The big question now is going to be, what is the moveset on this Rockwanid? Are they on Bug Buzz? Or are they on a different moveset? Ooh, I should have come in Lunatone there. Bit of a misplay. Bit of a massive misplay, if I do say so myself. I didn't want to get sniped down by Dragon Breaths, though, so I swapped out as quick as I could. With that said, there might still be some play here, because they need 2 attacks to knock us out, and if they don't shield up an Acrobatics here, they're going to be really low on HP. And it's not like Lunatone is unplayable into a Rockwanid. I'm just worried that my HP might be a little bit too low at this point, but we'll see. They let that go? Really? Maybe that's a smart play on their part, actually, because our Rockwanid might be able to survive everything I'm going to throw at it here. Stop switching. That is such a smart play. I hate that so much. I think they have us here. That swap out is very smart by them. If I got the farm down, there'd be a chance. We do make them shield a Weather Ball. And, like, if for some reason they don't knock us out here with a move, if they go for, like, a Bubble Beam, that would be huge. But I do not see that happening. They Bug Buzz, yeah, fair. I should have come in Lunatone. I should have come in Lunatone for sure into the Regidrago. I just panicked. I was going to get farmed down, so I had to switch out. And this doesn't even knock him out. Ah, well played. Well played to them. A Rockwind in the backline, not what I wanted to see. Well played. All right, Lunatone into Cetitan. All right, this thing again. Don't love Cetitan, but they seem to be everywhere nowadays. I do survive a charge attack here pretty easily from them, so he should be able to get his shield with a Rock Slide bait. Obviously, this is a Weather Ball Ice. This is where Solrock would be a little bit better, having Fire-type damage against him. But we do get the shield on the bait. 9, and so they're at the back-to-back Icicle Spear. Do they know that after a bait I am already at my Rock Slide, or do they not know that? Guess we'll find out. I would love a CMP right now. Ah, they know. People are just too good nowadays. People know their counts. Their Lunatone counts. That's a crazy thing. They know how to count a Lunatone. Get both shields, but I'm going to have to go and double shield myself here in just a second. 5, so they have their next move. I'm going to shield once. Maybe I no-shield one of these, though. Do I ever consider that? Because last time I saw us a Titan lead, I did double shield, and while it did work out, at least somewhat, I don't know if it was the best play I could have gone for. I'm going to shield. I'm gonna wimp out last second, still shield this up. They're staying in this time, which is interesting. 8. Interesting that they bring in a Shelgon here. Not the best answer to Kingdra in the game. Alright, we do get the knockout here. They do have a lot of energy, though, on the Cetitan. I think they're at 3 Powder Snows, so 2 away from reaching an attack. So I always have to have energy on my Jump Pluff, just to make sure I can outpace them to an Energy Ball, potentially. But what do they bring in here? If they bring in the Cetitan, I'd be happy. What are they doing? Regidrago in the back. Okay, let's just switch out to try to get energy so I can outpace the Cetitan. Alright, we know Dragon Energy doesn't one-shot us, but it does hurt quite a bit. So we have to let this go. No shields remaining, but I think I still have a lot of play here this game. I'll Acrobatics before they can switch out. And at this point, if they do want to switch out and snipe down my Jump Bluff with their Cetitan, I think that's still fine. Because they have to waste all their energy to do that. And, like, if they don't, then I just get another Energy Ball. So I force all of their energy out of them. I should be able to come in Kingdra here, Dragon Breath down, and then Swift the Cetitan and win the game. Lose condition, they get to a Vice Grip against our Kingdra. So let's hope that doesn't happen. Nice. We can actually go for a Surf here, too, to guarantee the knockout, but I think Swift would be enough. Let's go. You know, Cetitan a little bit of a tricky lead matchup for us, but double Dragon backline is pretty good for our team. Our whole team's pretty good into Dragon types, which, in a meta where Dragons are basically free, I think that's a pretty good thing. Lunatone into Licky Licky. Alright, I don't hate this lead matchup necessarily. They can bait us here with Body Slams to outpace us, but, I mean, I have a lot more fast move pressure than them. And Rock Slide is going to chunk them down quite a bit. They're at 5, so at least baiting an Earthquake even. I wonder what they're going to do. Licky Licky likely has answers to fighting types in the backline, so maybe Flyers back there. They waited to make sure I wasn't going to catch. I'm going to shield no matter what. Solrock, or Lunatone rather, does not want to get one shot here. So we do shield properly. Does this even knock out? Should I go for a Rock Slide here? I don't know my damage ranges with my Lunatone. I guess we're going to find out, aren't we? We do get his shield, so I guess we don't really find out. Anyway, they're at 4, so 5. I think this is still pretty good for us, because what I can do is, even if they bait, well, they don't bait, they're at 1 then. Whoa! 5. This is going to be awkward, because I would love to catch an energy ball on my jump bluff, but I don't know when they're going to throw it. I'm going to swap instantly. Okay, I guess that was the play. Switch instantly, catch the energy ball, unless this is an aerial ace. It could be an aerial ace for sure. Ah, just an energy ball. Don't debuff me. Thank you. We also got to sneak on that swap in, so because of that, we're going to be up on energy against this jump bluff. I can go for the acrobatics here, guarantee a lot of damage, although jump bluff is very bulky, so it's not quite like a one-shot. It's not even close to a one-shot, I should say. Yeah. 8, so they're at 1 right now. I would have to imagine they might be looking to go for a catch at some point in this game. And their Licky Licky is probably what they do it on. Okay. Luckily, we don't fall through the catch. We can go for an energy ball just so I don't have to switch out just yet. That gives us a little bit of initiative this game. But they did save a lot of energy on that jump bluff, but I also still think I'm outside of energy ball range, and I can probably reach an acrobatics against almost anything they might want to bring in. What is it going to be? Okay, I'm fine with them doing this. It's going to force them to throw energy against us, or I win CMP and I just knock him out straight up. So now it's a 3-on-1 against the backline. With that said, jump up is pretty low. I don't have any shields left over, and Lunatone has been chipped down. We'll see what the final Pokemon is going to be here. Oh, it's their own Lunatone. That's awesome. Honestly, I don't know why I came in Lunatone. I should have just come in Kingdra and finished it off a little bit quicker, but landing a Rock Slide here should put them into range where I can just knock them out with a Surf. And if they don't throw soon enough, I just get a Weather Ball as well. Nice. Was that a CMP? Could have been. And if that is the case, then this is even better for us than it was a second ago. Weather Ball, not quite a knockout, but yeah, that was a CMP. And if they don't Rock Slide us, this doesn't even knock us out. Might be able to Sidewave them down. They do Rock Slide, so that is sad. Oh, the undercharge. It's fine. We win. We win. No matter what, we'd win. We have Kingdra in the back line, but we definitely win even harder that way. Non-Shadow Celio. Okay. Not unplayable. 6. They bait us here. If they do, that is absolutely annoying. They don't. Okay. $11. Okay. This isn't honestly that bad. Because I can trip this down into Energy Ball range, and then Jump Left should be pretty good in the back line. I should survive 2 Shadow Balls here. Because Grumpig is not actually a Ghost type, so they're non-stab Shadow Balls. Sidewave isn't doing that much to us. And that Celio dumped all its energy earlier, so it's kind of dry. Yeah, second Shadow Ball coming through, but I do survive this one, and I can come up with back-to-back Energy Balls here. So if Celio does come back in, I can just get his shield right back. Oh. It's Clodsire that comes in instead. A little bit more scary, I will say. Still not bad, but, like, could be a lot better. Actually, it is pretty bad, because my switch clock is so desynced. This is really bad. We'll see, won't we? No, this is fine. This is great. Because if I land this, they might be in a range here where I can just, like, farm down even. Can I farm this down? I don't know if I can farm this down. I'm shielding, and we'll see. They do Stone Edge, so they're going to be 6 away from the next. I don't know if I can farm down. I'm not going to risk it at this point. If they do want to shield, though, I can get to, like, 3 Weather Balls here, which is pretty cool. And they're going to have to start shielding something this game. They do let that go. All right, they come back in Grumpig, even. I think we're not in a bad spot, actually. They do let that go, so down goes Grumpig. All right, we're going crazy here. We're going absolutely unhinged. Weather Ball bait. And we get it. Okay. Because, like, if I land a Rock Slide, or if I get the final shield, I think my Kingdra just closes out the game. They still need to go for a Surf to knock us out here. They do double shield. English hard. Oh, I guess I missed the tap. I wanted to catch that on jump left. It's fine. No matter what, we should be good here. Body time, does that even knock us out? It does not. We'll save the Weather Ball in case we need just like 2 more damage into a Celium. But a Swift here should basically do the rest of the job. But honestly, it might not be quite enough. Then again, like, I'm not going to get knocked out by 2 Body Sims from a non-Shadow Celio, so no matter what, I'm good. Yeah, we live this. I have a Surf. It does a little bit more raw damage. And Celio at this point is pretty low on HP. And just in case they're at back-to-back somehow, which I know they're not, I'll throw an alignment just to guarantee the knockout. Good stuff, Kingdra. Honestly, Lunatone put in so much work against this team. That's kind of crazy. Down goes the Celio. GG's. All right. Masked Asian, almost at Legend rank. Oh my goodness, 10 points off. That is very, very close. We'll see if we can gatekeep him. Although, Celio lead's actually a little bit awkward. Wish my bait move wasn't double resisted here. And they could go for body slam baits as well, which would be kind of annoying. We're going for a crazy bait. You know, they're on the precipice of Legend. They have to shield this. They can't take risks. See? Alright, I'll try to catch a Surf here on my Kingdra. If they body slam us, fair enough. I'm honestly not scared of Celio, at least not that scared of Celio with Jump Bluff. Nice, we catch the Surf. 5, 6, 7. Okay, not the worst Pokemon to bait out here. But they did bank a Surf +1. We're out of Twister here. Now, what I like about Kingdra is, even in these kind of bad matchups, it still has a lot of play, right? Look how much damage I do just with a Swift. That's kind of crazy, if you ask me. They're at 7, so they have a Twister, and they're just over-farming, I guess, to make sure that whatever I do, like, they aren't going to be in a really bad spot behind energy or anything. I'm going to let this go and try to Psywave down with my Lunatone if I can. I hope they don't get to a Twister. They might, but again, I'm hoping they don't. Well, it wasn't even close. They got to a Twister. Anyway, that doesn't one-shot us or anything. It's not like it's a Water Pulse. We can let this go. We can go for a Rock Slide if they bring back in that Celio. Okay. Well, I called that Celio was going to get swapped right in there, so I went for an instant Rock Slide. Not my best play, I will admit. But it's fine. Because we don't have a great answer to this anyway, so it's not bad to just try to chip this down. They're at 5. They haven't thrown energy just yet. Did they shield this? If they shield this up, that's good for us. We get his shield, okay. I think we still force energy out of them. They can't farm us down, can they? They're back-to-back moves. I'm going to shield this. I want to save my Lunatone. And I think we might have just caught a Drill Run. We'll see if that's the case or not. Now, Celio is still around with a lot of energy on it, right? They went for the Rock Slide. Smart catch, or smart call, anticipating the catch. Yes, there's the Celio. A lot of energy, as we were saying. But Body Slam here doesn't do that much damage to us. It's all the Powder Snows, right? Powder Snow is where the damage is at. We overfarm here to be able to outpace, potentially, to the Energy Ball against the Dunsparce, because they should be 4, or rather 3 rollouts away from their next move no matter what. So we'll go for the Energy Ball here. And if Dunsparce comes in, we make sure they're in a rollout before I throw my move. And if it's going to be the Mantine, I think we still can go for a Fairy Wind down before they're able to reach a move against us. So we'll see. I got to be patient here, but I think we're in a good spot. Dunsparce probably comes in, right? Yep. They're catching. Nice. We just have the Acro now. That should be enough. GG's. And I think with that, we actually just clutched a decisive Game 5 for a 3-2 set here. Let me make sure, though. I don't want to speak too soon, but yep, there it is. That was a clutch game. Almost got 2 incredible catches, but honestly, Dunsparce throwing the Rock Slide against Jump Bluff, that was a smart call by them. 28-48, that's a big climb for a 3-2 set. Let's go. All right, so Lunatone was way more fun than I thought it would be today. It is such a strong Pokemon. I knew it would be good, but I mean, once you get your hands on it, you just realize what this Pokemon can do. There are still ghosts and bugs in the meta that are a little bit scary for you, but even still, those matchups are playable. And with Jump Bluff and Kingdra in the backline, this team worked very well, so give it a go if you have it. But yeah, thank you for watching, take care, and I'll see you in the next one.